so my apologies for stopping the audio. Tonight, I trust tonight is gonna be a great night for us. I'm expecting us to join in the class this evening. All right. Okay, let me just mute this. All right, yeah. It's good to have everybody here. It's good to be here this evening. Trying to switch off my audio so that we can all participate in the class. All right, so class is live. It's good to have everybody here, and I'm just jumping in straight away into today's class. And just like I have mentioned here, we'll be looking basically at how creating the right strategy for your business, your social media, right social media strategy for your business. All right. All right, yes, I can see people are joining in tonight. Jude, it's good to see you. Ruth, it's good to see you. Dr. Triple A, thank you for having me here. I can see people are joining in. And I think I'll just jump straight into today's class so that we can have good session this evening. All right. Okay, so let me quickly, for those that don't know me, I just do a quick show of my face so you can see who is talking to you. All right, my name is Eyitope, and I'm excited to be here this evening. Okay, let me take my earphones off. I'm excited to be here this evening for this class on how to create the perfect social media strategy for your business. It's important. I'm sure we all agree that social media is a powerful tool that we can use to improve our business. We can use to market and become, gain greater visibility and become better and make more money. Essentially, so I'm going to just be speaking along those lines this evening. I'll just switch quickly to my presentation so that we can see what the class is essentially about. So I'll be hopefully seeing you again after our presentation. All right, yes, so essentially, how do you use social media properly as a business person? How do you use social media to promote your business? How do you use social media how do we create the right social media strategy for our businesses? It's important for us to sort this issue out and know exactly how we're going to leverage this technology to improve our business. I love to say that as powerful as social media is, it is just a tool, and it's a tool that if you know how to leverage properly will bring out the best or better results for you as an individual. All right, so essentially, how do you use social media for business growth? How can you use social media for your business? And just like I noted here, even though social media is almost free, for you to enjoy its full benefit, you need to acquire the necessary know-how to make it work in your favor, or else you are going to just waste your resources. You are going to waste your time, you are going to waste your energy, you are going to waste a lot of stuff. It's important to know exactly how to use social media as a tool. It's like having a bazooka and not know exactly how to use it, how to aim it properly for it to be able to leverage it for for your business, and grow your brand. So of course, these are excerpts. This is my presentation is coming from my book that I just wrote with the title "How to Use Social Media Effectively for Business Growth and for Profit." So it's important. All right, so let me just get straight into this, like I said earlier. And now the number one reasons why owners and business owners are overwhelmed with the use of social media for promoting their business is because there's no clear strategy to their activities. There's no clear direction that they are going, and because there's no clear direction, it makes it very difficult for them to know whether they are making progress or not. It makes it a lot difficult for them to know essentially how they can progress, how they can, maximize this tool. And I also always advocate there are three major things that are important for you to be able to leverage use of social media, as a business, as a small business that is trying to grow. One is planning, the second thing is using templates, and the third thing is leveraging on automation. Tonight, I'll be basically talking about how you can leverage planning for your business, since we are talking about building a social media strategy for your business. The truth is that you don't just jump in and start posting. It's important that you start with a plan. The holy book that I read, the Christian Bible that I read, there's a particular verse of the Bible that says that if you want to start building a house, you don't want to just start jumping and start building straight off. You want to first of all have a plan. Know whether you have enough resources to be able to finish that building, so that you don't start building and discover midway that you don't have enough resources to be able to finish. The same thing that saves. That's just practical wisdom. Instead of just creating a social media handle and just jumping in to begin to post and start sharing your content, it's important for you to have a clear plan. It's important for you to have a strategic plan, and there are four basic questions that you need to answer as a person that wants to leverage social media effectively. The first foundation stone to be laid for an effective social media use is to have a good plan, to have a strategic plan. There's a saying that if you fail to plan, you are planned to fail. And that is true, especially when it comes to getting tangible results from your social media. Like I said, there are four basic questions that you need to answer for you to be able to have a result-oriented social media, for you to have, they are like your social media objectives. Answering these four questions will help you to know exactly how you are going to succeed. The first question is your why question. Why? You need to know what your goals are. Why are you on social media? What do you intend to achieve? What is your driving? What is driving your impact? What is driving whatever it is that you are doing on social media? Why are you doing what you are doing? Second question: who is your target audience? Who are the type of people that you want to reach? Who are the people that you are trying to reach out to with social media? The third question that you need to answer is the question of what are you going to be posting on social media? What content do you intend to be sharing on your social media? Is your content going to be written? Is it going to be spoken? Is it going to be visual? Is it going to be graphics? And then the last question that you need to answer is your how question. How do you intend to reach these people? What platforms are you going to be using? Are you going to be spending some money on advertisement? Are you just going to be pushing out your content? How often are you going to be posting? When do you want to post? What times of the day? And things like that. And then how do you measure exactly how much impact that you are making? Just like I said earlier, if you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. It's important that you answer these questions, and I will try this evening to help us to be able to have some kind of clarity so that we can make progress with regards to our social media. Okay, so the first question you want to answer is, why are you on social media? And I'm just going to read this part from my book. When it comes to using social media, there are basically three major goals or objectives that a business should have. These goals provide a basis to measure the success of your campaigns and your activities. And I'm going to mention those three major goals. We're talking about brand awareness as the first goal that you are thinking of. It's about creating awareness for your brand, your product, or your service. The second thing that you want to answer, the question you want to answer, the second goal that you are looking at is lead generation. Lead generation has to do with collecting, focusing on gathering contacts or contact information of people who have shown interest in your service. These are prospects. These are people that if you relate with, if you press, if you follow up on, there's a chance that they are going to purchase your product or your service. And then the last the last one is conversions, which is focuses on turning prospects into paying customers. It is making sales your primary focus on social media. This one focuses on sales. So I've mentioned three. There's brand awareness, there's lead generation, there's conversions, and all other things basically fall into this, particularly if you are a business that is about making financial profit. If you are a not-for-profit, then maybe this is slightly different. You are looking at just creating influence and impact, and then obviously turning that into followers or people that are advocates of your brand. But this evening, I'll be focusing majorly on businesses that are profit-oriented, that are focused on making money as a brand. If you're interested in making money, come on, type money in the comment section. Yeah. All right. So much energy tonight. Let me move on. Yeah. So basically, all right. So let me just go ahead and answer these 4 questions. So it's very important for you to write out your goals as action sentences. It's important for you to know what these things are, to be able to focus on writing them clearly. Okay, so let me just backtrack a little bit. So I'll just take these goals one by one, try and explain them so that we can have some clarity on them. Yeah. So if you're focusing on brand awareness, you're focusing on getting people to know about your brand. It's about getting your target audience, people that are most likely interested in your content, in your product or your services, is getting them to know about you. And it's not just getting them to know about you, it's getting them to know how your product, the solution that your product or your service provides, is getting them to know how your product or your service solves the problem that they are experiencing. Is getting them to know essentially how your product or your service meets their needs. So for example, if I'm selling shoes, instead of just pushing my brand out and letting people know that, oh, I sell shoes, it's better for me to push. For example, if I'm trying to focus on employees and people that have a particular they work in a bank, for example, I can push the fact that, oh, I sell affordable shoes. Affordable shoes, points to the fact that, okay, so that is a unique selling proposition. That's a USP. That's something unique to these people that can solve their problem. So when you push your brand out like that, you want to focus on using on speaking about the solution that your product provides, not just talking about your brand alone. I mean, it's not sufficient that you just talk about your brand. It's important that you talk about the solution that your brand can deliver. That is what registers in the minds of those that are following. That's what makes your brand, register in the hearts of those that are following you. So it's important for you to be clear about, what your brand does for people, how it improves their lives, how it changes their situation, how it improves their situation. That's important. The second thing is about lead generation, and this is focusing on getting contact information of people that show interest in your product or services. With brand awareness, you have raised interest. You have shown people what your product or your service can do to improve their lives. With lead generation, what you are doing is taking it a step further and beginning to gather the contact information of people that are interested in your brand. If there's anybody here, and I'm sure we probably have done this, that has at one point or the other dropped his email address for a free book, for a free training, you'll gain access to a WhatsApp group or a Facebook group for a free training. What you're doing is showing that you are interested in the product or the services that person is delivering. And as you do this, what you're doing is that you're opening up a channel of communication between yourself and the owner of the brand. And of course, with consistent interaction with you, they can lead you to a point where you can now make a purchase with them. So it's important that you get contact details. Awareness is good. It's good that people know about you, but it's more important that you harvest, contact information of people that are interested in your business. And there are so many ways that you can do this by offering a free product. It's called a lead magnet. Offer a free service, offer something to people in exchange for their email address, in exchange for their contact, for their WhatsApp numbers, in exchange for their contact information, so that you can then follow up and then close the sale. The final part is conversions, and this is usually where most people just focus on promotions and just share that. But of course, it's important that you know what you're trying to do. What you're trying to do is you're trying to turn people that are either hot customers into, people that are hot prospects into paying customers. What are hot prospects? Hot prospects are those people that they are just waiting to make a payment. They are just looking for a place where they can pay for the month for your goods or your products or your services. There are other people that are cold audiences, people that need some warming up. They need to be told that they have a need, and then they need to be shown that, and then you need to warm them up to the point. And then the warm guys are the people that already show some level of interest, but they need a little bit more convincing. But this third part, or this third major goal, is about conversions. It's about how do I get my customers, prospects, to make them pay for my service. You can either focus on one of these three. I always advise that you look at one primarily, and then look at the other two as secondary. But your strategy should be positioned in such a way that one leads into the other, because ultimately, if you're a business, it's about making money. Conversions is your final goal, but then you need to know at which stage you are in and know how to engage people appropriately. So if you are going with me, you're enjoying this, and if you're on the replay, it would be nice for you to just add replay and then your comment. Just hashtag replay and add your comment. But if you are here live this evening, I want you to just what do I want you to do? All right, just type. I'm in a money mood, so just type dollars in the comment section, so I know that you are with me. Oluwatosin, it's good to have you. Adeni Atiba, Dr. Triple A, it's good to have you. Ruth, I see that you're still with me. Jude, I don't know if you've left, but I think you're still with me. So I'm feeling you guys. I'm moving on to the next part. Okay, so it's important that you write out your goals as action sentences, action statements, once you are clear on which goal your business is focusing at a particular time. Writing out the goal helps you to know how to measure your success in achieving your predetermined objectives. Okay, so I'll give a few examples of this. Examples of clear goals are, for example, to get 200 views on my WhatsApp status every time I post for the next 30 days. So it's already clear. This is a smart goal. Is specific, is measurable, is achievable, it is realistic, and then it's time bound. There's 30 days to it, and everything is very clear. A lead generation goal, for example, will be to get 100 WhatsApp numbers of prospective customers for my weeks in 2 weeks. And then a conversion goal will be to make 3 sales from WhatsApp in the month of May. So these are clear. It's very, very important that you clear. Now, I'll just like to drop this. Knowing the reasons for being on social media will help you save time, maximize your resources, and help you successfully use social media to accomplish your business goals. So I need you to go and think about this. Get your biro, get your strategy paper, your whatever it is that you use to strategize, and go ahead and write out which one of these is the goal that you are primarily focusing on now as a business. I'll just switch to the next question. The next question is the who question. Who is your target audience? It's important for you to know who your target audience is. Yes, who is your target audience? Your target audience is the yeah, you have to be clear, like I said, on the description of your ideal client. Why is it important to know who your target audience is? Knowing the description of your ideal client helps you to know where you can find them on social media and how you can use your content to attract them. Is important on social. One of the beauties of social media, of new media, particularly social media marketing, is the ability to be able to target with very pinpoint accuracy, the kind of people that you are trying to reach. Is the ability to be able to zero in and say, okay, fine, I would like to reach people that are between ages 25 and 30, that are single, that are male, that live in Ibadan and are 25 miles within from Iwo Road, and stuff like that. That's, you can't do that with traditional marketing. And knowing who your target audience is helps you to be able to narrow down, on being able to market to them. This description is what is also called a buyer persona. A buyer persona is essentially the description of your characteristics of your ideal clients. I'm going to give an example here of a buyer persona. A buyer persona, just like you see in this image that I'm mousing over. I don't know if you can see it. All right, this image of Segun Bravo, name I made up. All right, so Segun Bravo is 23 years. He's a Chelsea fan. He's a final year student. He's single. He lives in Lagos. He stays with a friend off campus and uses Instagram, Facebook, but Twitter as his main, social media platform. Why is this important? All these interests help you to know exactly how to set up, your content to be able to reach your social media, your audience, and be able to know exactly what you're doing. I like to use this example a lot. Okay, so if you're a business that sells baby clothes and you're trying to sell to someone like Segun Bravo, are you going to be able to make any serious sales? So let's say that you set up your diaper sales shop opposite a university. Let's say I live in Ibadan presently, so let's say University of Ibadan. Or let me even say that I go to Yaba Tech or University of Lagos and I set up my diaper, my Sienna bus. I load it with my diapers and I stand in front of that community and I'm trying to sell to them. Of course, it's obvious that I'm not going to make much sales, if I even make any sales at all, because that audience does not resonate. My product is not something that audience is thinking about at that time. So understanding your audience will know exactly what will help you know exactly what to present before to them. One of the things that we must realize that is on social media, people focus on what is in it for me. That's WIIFM. What's in it for me? And so people are looking out to, okay, so how do I gain? What do I benefit from this? And once there's no clear direct benefit that people can have from it, then they move on. They are not looking essentially at how they can buy your product. They are looking at what benefit that is in it for them. And if you can connect with their interests, connect with things. So let's say we connect with Segun's interest of Chelsea, for example. That's an opportunity for us to be able to connect with him and then lead him into buying exactly what we are selling. So by showing them you care about them, you can grab their attention more easily. By showing interest in their interest, you can definitely bring interest into your own business so that your financial interest will interestingly increase. All right. Okay. All right. So yeah, if you are still here, just write buyer persona in your comment section. All right. Yeah. So I'm going to the third question. And that question is the what question. The third question has to do with content, and this is the one that people love the most. People love to push content. People love to share content. It's so easy nowadays to just take your device and use apps to create your content, whether video, whether audio, text content, graphic content. Is much easier today. Content, the social media actually revolves around content, and that's why they say content is king. I heard somebody say this recently, that relevant content is what is king. Onomo Ukwa, I think, is the one that made that. I was at an event recently and he put that quote out, that relevant content, and I so much agree with him, that relevant content is what is king. But interesting, do you know that, I mean, even content that is not relevant, that we think is not relevant, fake news, gets a lot of gets moved around, gets pushed around, simply because it is connecting with people. All right, so let me not digress. Okay, so content is the tool to communicate your USP to your followers and to your target audience. Content is the vehicle that you use to connect with your target audience. Is the tool you use to get your target audience to know, to like, and to trust you. The purpose of content is so that you can build trust with people. People buy based on trust. People will not buy from you if they don't trust you. So it's important for you to use your content to create that know, like, trust thing. You need to. It's a KLT thing. All right, it's not a. All right, so yeah, so it's important for you to get your content for people to know, to like, and to trust you. You want to use your content to do that, instead of just using your content to just buy this and buy that and just push promotional content alone. People try to outdo the competition by posting more pictures of their latest products and their prices, but the truth is that approach doesn't really work. People will only buy from you if they trust your entire process. All right, I need to take a quick break, and I'll be back in a bit. Please permit me to just take a quick break, and I'll be back in just a little bit. In the meantime, let me just leave you with my book cover, and I'll be back in just a quick bit. All right. Ooh, okay, I'm very sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I put that suddenly. Please, apologies for that mix up. I had to quickly change NEPA to power, and sorry for that wrong slide that I put in. All right, so let me just get into the final bit of my class tonight. And I was saying that instead of just pushing out content more and more and just trying to get your customers to buy from you, it's important that whatever content that you're pushing out is content that is adding value to people. It's content that creates that know, like, trust feel. It makes people feel more comfortable around you. Helps people to know, to like, and to trust you. It's important that you do that, because once people can trust you, then it's a lot easier for them to purchase from you. So sharing the right kind of content can help you gain their trust and improve your brand loyalty. So the question now is, what do you post? And it's important for you to decide on what content you want to be posting. Now, instead of just sending one particular type of content, it's important for you to do different types of content, different types of content for you to post, so that people can have a good feel of your social media, of what you do. So I always recommend that you have different categories of your content. You can have educational content, motivational content, promotional content, testimonials, conversational content. These are just a few categories of content that you can push out into the public space. You also need to realize apologize for that. That's my son coming into this place. All right, so you need to also decide on those different categories of what you want to post. You also need to decide on the kind of formats that you want to post. Are you thinking video? Are you thinking audio? Are you thinking text? You need to decide. If it's text, that means that you're going to be using a blog. If it's audio, you can use Facebook audio. There's Facebook radio or podcasts, and or you can use video. Video, and video is the in thing today. The web is becoming more like a video web. So essentially, you need to ask that question: what do you want to post? And create a mix of different things. Don't just push only promotional content. When you do all those kind of different things, what you are doing is that you are actually establishing yourself as an authority in that field. Then the other question is, how often will you post? You need to make up your mind how often you want to post. You want to be posting daily, you want to post twice a day, you want to post once a week. I would advise that you do what is convenient for you. Find a balance between what works for you and what your target market wants. A few platforms, for example, Instagram advises that you do once a day, every day of the week. Just do whatever it is that you feel comfortable with, and so that you don't start and then not become and have to stop. You need to find a way to be able to be consistent with your posts. A content calendar will help solve the problem of knowing what to post and when to post. I give an example. There's a school, my children's school, secondary school. I was given an example of what a content calendar is for them. On Monday, they could share, this is a WhatsApp group, of course. Maybe this daily, once every day of the week can be a bit cumbersome, particularly when it's come to a platform like WhatsApp, but this could also be applicable for maybe Instagram. So on Monday, if they have an Instagram page, share an inspirational message. On Tuesday, put an announcement up. On Wednesday, there could be parenting tips. On Thursdays, reminders about the announcements that have gone before. On a Friday, have study tips for children. On a Saturday, help tips for parents. And Sunday, back to school tips, because of course everybody's resuming on Monday. So this can be a cycle that they can use. And by creating a content calendar, it saves you a lot of headache, about exactly what you want to post. I'm sure many of us have been at that stage at one point or the other where you are thinking, oh God, what am I going to post today? And the whole day goes and you don't know exactly what you want to post. But this content calendar can give you a guideline as to what exactly you want to post. Yes. Now to my last question. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Last question. Spent over 30 minutes. All right, so the last question is, how do you connect with your target audience? It's important for you to know exactly how to connect with your target audience, because this, okay, so let me illustrate without my diapers. Okay, so let's say you sell diapers and baby clothes, and you take your Toyota Sienna minibus and drive to the entrance of a university campus in a town like Ibadan, where I live, for example, Nigeria. And you are there because of huge huge vehicular traffic that the location boasts of. What's the probability of making good sales? The chances are low, right? The simple reason is because the concentration of your target audience is low. I like to use this other example too. So let's say, for example, two guys. One is Segun Bravo, and the other is Mr. Jason. All right. So Mr. Jason and Segun Bravo sell sachet ice cream or sachet ice cream. The ones that fan ice they push around, and they go ahead and start advertising. Now, this will probably work with people that are in Ibadan. You guys will probably be able to answer, or people in Lagos. So I'll just give those two scenarios. So these two guys, one of them goes to a place like Oshodi or a place like Mokola in Ibadan and puts his wares there and begins to advertise for people to come and buy, a fan ice drink, there. And then the other guy moves himself to a place like Bodija, or let's say like Ikeja, where there are like 5 or 6 primary schools in that locality, and then he says there. Now, the truth is that okay, so who has a greater chance of making high volume of sales in both of them? Consider the fact that the guy in Mokola or in Oshodi has huge traffic. There are lots of people that are passing that place, and the other guy just has access to a select group of people, just like 5 or 6 schools in that community where he's staying. Who has a higher chance of making more sales? All right. So because there's a lag with my Facebook, I'm not sure I'll be able to get people's answers, but let me just wait a bit and let me hope that the answers will be able to come in. All right, so I'm waiting. Anybody there with an answer to the question I asked? I'm waiting. 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 Okay, I see somebody saying the one in Mokola or Oshodi has a greater chance of making more sales. All right, I'm trying to. Okay, so let me do this. Uh, da, 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 da. Okay. Okay, so somebody has said that this person that is in Oshodi has a greater chance of making sales. All right, now the okay. So let me just go back to this. The reason why the guy in Oshodi will not make as much sales as, or the guy in Mokola will not make as much sales as the other guy is because that other guy that is in Ikeja with a group of primary schools around him, like 5 or 6, has a highly targeted audience. He's in a location where most of those people there, schools close and then children are leaving with their parents and they see an ice cream, stand. They probably want to have, the ice cream man is telling them, buy for this child now, and the child is crying, daddy, I want ice cream, daddy, please buy this for me, daddy, please buy that for me. The chances of increase in sales are higher because 10 out of those people, maybe 7 or 8 out of those people that walk past that place will probably buy from him because either the parents don't just want their child to cry anymore, and they just want to buy a snack for the child, so just let me just buy something for this child. So emotions will kick in. But then in a place like Oshodi or Mokola, that there are several people passing. There are people that are involved in all kinds of things. There's a huge vehicular traffic, but that audience is not as targeted. They are not the right kind of people. They are not a concentration of your target audience, in that situation. So that is why it's important for you to know what platform that is, that your target audience is on. Knowing the platform they are on helps you to be able to be positioned properly. So if I'm trying to reach older people that are between 50 to 60, 65, it will make more sense for me to go. If I go on Instagram, no matter how many people are on Instagram, that age range of people is not generally on Instagram. If I'm looking to reach that age range of people, I'm looking at going to Facebook, but more importantly, WhatsApp. I can go into a WhatsApp broadcast and send messages directly to them. I'm more likely to reach those kind of people. If I'm thinking of reaching guys that are 20 and 25, between 20 and 18 and 25, for example, it's better that I use a platform like WhatsApp, depending on how their levels, their interest. But WhatsApp looks like a better. I'm trying to reach undergraduates, that between 18 and 25 that are interested in fashion. Sorry, I said WhatsApp. I meant to say Instagram. Instagram is a better platform to be able to reach them on. If I'm trying to reach CEOs and people that are, that are developers and they are thinking, they're analytical in their thinking, they're interested in business, they're interested in funding, Twitter is a better platform to go and reach them on than on Instagram or Facebook. So it's important to know your target audience. Helps you to know what platforms you are going to be on. You need to do some research to know which social media platform your target audience uses the most and to be active on. I do a lot of experimentation, trying to test this and test that and find out, what platforms my target audience are on. Being on the wrong target audience or wrong platform is like trying to woo a lady by winking in the dark. You are the only one that knows exactly what you are doing, and it's important for your business or for your business to grow. It's important for people to see what you are doing and then be able to patronize your business. All right, so if I'm hoping that this has been able to help us a bit to be able to know answering these 4 questions helps us to really position our business better. Why are you on social media? What are the goals? And I mentioned that those goals are basically three. They are brand awareness, they are lead generation, they are conversions. It's important that you also know who your target audience is. Who am I trying to reach on social media? Who are the people that you want to reach? And then the third thing is, what are you going to be posting? What content are you going to be posting? Is it written? Is it spoken? Is it audio? Is it video? Is it graphic content? Creating a content calendar helps you to be able to put all this in proper perspective and do what is right at the right time. And then finally, what platforms? What platforms are you going to be leveraging on? What are you going to be using? Facebook? Is it going to be Instagram? Are you going to be using WhatsApp? And then all this together helps you to create your clear strategy, and knowing exactly how you want to reach people. All right, so I'm done with my class, and I just want to offer my book to us this evening. This book is a powerful book. The rest of the book goes into all the other things, like how to create templates that you want to create for your social media, and then exactly how you want to also automate your social media so that you are constantly pushing out content, in a consistent fashion. If you are interested in getting the book, you can reach out to me. I don't know if I should just drop. I'm going to drop my the details for us to know how to get the book. The book is there are two versions of the book. There's the PDF version of the book, and there's also the physical version of the book. If you are interested in getting the physical version of the book, then you can just send all you need to do is just connect with me by sending send 1,000 naira to my bank account. These are the account details. GT Bank 01382385523, or you just go to bit.ly / social media for business. I think that's the link. Let me be sure that's the link. Okay, so if you are interested in getting the book is just, the ebook is just 1,000 naira, just like I mentioned. It's just 1,000 naira, and you can get the book. If you want to pay with a transfer, you can send to this link. Sorry, let me correct that. bit.ly for social media for business. Okay, let me just get the right link. I think I'm missing the link somewhat. Let me get the right link for us.